This is a very unusual transition question because none of the transitions are kind of in normal categories. They're all their own really weird thing. I don't think that makes it harder. I think this is generally still an easy question, but yeah, sometimes the transitions are just very unique to the situation. So just try your best to understand the situation and you should be fine. So in this case, let's take a look. Let's just go right to the passage. As biologist Terry Williams has documented, deep dives present a challenge for seals and other marine mammals. A seal must exert enough energy to propel itself hundreds of meters downward while keeping its heart rate low enough that it doesn't run out of oxygen while underwater. A seal moves its flippers as little as possible in a deep dive, gliding to conserve energy. Well, they're just kind of reiterating what they're saying, right? So they're conserving energy so they don't want to run out of oxygen. That's kind of the same idea, right? Is they're trying to, just save whatever energy and oxygen and other resources, I guess, their body has to just not die. So in the first place would be weird because there is no in the second place, right? This paragraph ends. So why would we start kind of listing things and then just abruptly end the list? So there is no in the first place. That requires some sort of second, third, or whatever. It's not a contrast. That's what on the other hand means. We would expect there to have been like on the one hand, but on the other hand, right? So it's clearly some sort of contrast word, but where's the contrast? If anything, we're kind of continuing what we just said because we're saying that the seal has certain behaviors that it uses to just kind of keep from dying. So it's not like it's like, oh, well, it's got to keep its heart rate low so it doesn't run out of oxygen, but it loves to just do flips while it's underwater. Like it's not contrasting that in any way. It's kind of reiterating the fact that it's going very slowly. It's moving its flippers very little. And so for this reason is kind of a fancy way of saying so. It's a because word, right? So it keeps its heart rate low enough that it doesn't run out of oxygen. So a seal moves its flippers as little as possible to conserve energy. That's basically what we're saying. That makes the most sense. Whereas D wouldn't make any sense here because what are we comparing the seal to? Nothing. It's still the seal. We're not making a comparison to something else. We're only ever talking about seals. I know at the beginning they kind of introduced it as a more general idea about seals and other marine mammals, but we've moved on from that, right? We're only talking about the seal in both of these sentences, so we should just stick to the seal, and that's going to leave us with choice C. So again, I don't think this was hard. Maybe we had to do a little bit more reasoning because we had to interpret each of these transitions a little bit more than usual because none of them fit our more typical categories, but that's okay. Just roll with it. Like there's never going to be an SAT that has exactly every kind of question that you would predict. There's always a couple things that are just weird, that are out of the norm, but if you know the stuff that's normal, then when the stuff gets weird, you're going to be able to have the time and confidence to adjust, adapt, and still get the questions right.